evening, everyone. Um, Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. How's it been? If you can hear me, please give me a thumbs up just to know that you can hear me. Thank you, Adijoke. Thank you, Khadija. Thank you. Yeah, thanks so much. Thanks so much. Yeah, thank you, Samuel. Right, I appreciate it. So, before we get started, right? I would like to. How's it been? I want to believe, and so most of us, some of us, we submitted the assignment, right? And why some of us were unable to submit the assignment, right? And based on because of one thing or the other, right? And because I think some people are finding it difficult to upload their assignment on the Google Doc, so on Google Class, I mean, right? So yeah, that's fine. So I think I will a video will be sent to the group, right? How to go about that so that that's when you guys. And once again, welcome to week two, and like today is going to be more of practical, right? So if you don't have your Figma, and please try and download it now, or just get an account. All right. So before we get our hearts dirty. So by the way, we've got Oluwaseyi, Joanna, Khadija, Adejoke, Samuel, Kola. Okay, yeah, that's fine. And Hemran easily, right? And Chidima just joined now, and Badmos, Kelvin, Austin. So yeah, so time, yeah, good to see everyone again. And so anybody, so I was in the assignments. I want to believe that it's very easy for you guys to solve the assignment. Well, I I got I saw some nice did well, right? And that's the way. So you just have to, if you cannot create it now, by the time you start working now, so you will have to create that. Okay, I'm are you raising up your hand, or you are waving? Okay, okay, it's waving. I hope I pronounced that name well. Okay, I don't want to murder someone's name. All right. So just forgive me if I do not pronounce it well. Just please. So so um for the last week, is anyone that what have you learned from the assignment you guys did? Is anyone that want to say anything before we while we wait for some folks to join, like just 5 minutes? Okay, who want to say something, right? Why during the assignments, all the is there any challenges, creating the user empathy, right? And creating the user flow. Is anybody that wants to talk, that you can raise up your hand? Khadija, is this wave? Are you waving up your hand, or you are okay? If you want to talk, kindly just unmute your mic. Is there any challenges you face? Why? Uh, Chidima, your mic is. Do you want to say something? Okay. So, all right. So before if there's nobody that wants to say anything, so we um, just move on with our class. That's fine. But I would like to hear from people, right? I love to interact with people. So I'm going to call on someone. I think let's go for Kelvin. Yeah, Kelvin. If you can talk, please unmute your mic and So how has it been, the assignments? Is there any challenges?
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, Kelvin.
I had a little difficulty, like my assignments. I couldn't make use of the Figma app
Right.
because I was having challenges. I downloaded it on my phone, and also I think I tried accessing it on my laptop. Though my laptop, it's not really big, so that's why I ended up doing a paper sketch. So I was hoping probably you could.
Were you one of the guys that did the paper sketch, right?
Yes, yes. So,
Yeah. That's awesome. So actually, if you can sketch something on your paper, right, there's there's high probability of you putting on using the tool, right? The tool is just to help you bring all those things to life, right? So yeah, if you can sketch it, that means you understood what your all those things. But have you got your system today with
yeah, I
you?
do have my system. It's just my system is like it's quite slow and everything. Even when I tried testing the Figma app, the system
Right,
started to hang, started acting funny.
right, right.
So
So
I
yeah,
think it,
Figma is not that heavy, right? If you can just do this thing on web, if you don't want to download um the app, the desktop app. So you can just download it on your PC, right? Which is, and I mean,
but
just
it's not
use the web
accessible on the phone, right? Because I have it on my phone, but
right.
just like
So the
it's
only
just on
thing
my phone.
you cannot do anything on your phone. So that is why it's called Figmirror. You can only mirror what you have on your Figma, uh, either web or desktop, right? Mirror it on your phone, right? Just to see what you have. For example, now you are designing a mobile app, right? So you can feel it. You can now mirror the screen on your phone just to see how it's going to look like on your phone.
Okay.
So that's the use of the phone, the of the app, right? I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does. It does actually. Thank you very much.
All right, yeah,
So it,
yeah,
it mainly can
yeah.
be
So
used only
yeah,
on system.
yes, actually, it can only be used on system. And so once again, I want to say, well done, guys, for even making an attempt to do the assignment. And yeah, you guys really did well. All right. So, all right, we are 11 minutes behind. So let's just get started. So before we get started, I don't know if the program manager, send a message, post it on the group that you guys should bring come with your laptop and join with your laptop. If you are not able to join with your laptop, right, this call is unrecorded. Right, you can now go back to it and to see some of the things we've done, right? And um yeah, welcome you Odoye, and yeah. So let's just start. Yeah. All right. So before we get started, right, I would like to like I said in the last class we had, so product design or UI design is not just a pause, just going to be Figma tools and just design, right? There must be a thought process uh, why you are designing, right? The reason why, why some certain things on your design, why this button is placed here and some other things and some other element. Why are the images too, right? And yeah, so before we jump into Figma, right? Today it's going to be more of Figma, right? Yeah, so trust me. Then one more thing, as from today, right? Or tomorrow. So there's going to be UI challenge, right? So every blessed day, right? You have to design something every day. So I'm going to check, I'll be checking and I'll be commenting of you guys Figma, uh, Figma, right? In the next 20 days, right? So we'll be doing UI challenge. So you do the challenge, design, you have to design at least one screen in a day. So that will help your design, right? So you can model some design, get a screenshot of, go to Dribble and copy the image and redesign it, right? So so we'll be doing this for in the next 20 days as from today. So that one is not it's not going to be part of your assignment, right? So this one is just like you're playing, just designing, screens. It could be uh, a mobile app, it could be a web app, right? Yeah. So I said the web app. It could be a mobile screen or desktop, right? So this is going to be starting this from tomorrow for 20 days, right? I can promise you this. If you can do this consistently, right? Consistently for 20 days, the way you design about why to change, right? Your approach to design, the way you see things, all those things is going to change, right? And so I just say, let me just pass that information. I know you guys have seen that, right? We talked about that last week, right? 21 days challenge. All right, so let's just jump in. I'm going to share my screen before we jump um, into Figma, right? So let me share my screen. Okay. Um, okay. Where's this guy? Mhm. So if you can see my screen, please give me a thumbs up. Yeah, just to be sure that you guys can see my screen. So so very oh okay, it's loading. So very quickly, we need to uh, just quickly delve into wireframe, and most designers do skip this, right? Why they are working on a project, right? Which is not a great it's not really great, right? So what is wireframe? I know some of us might have heard wireframe, and so there are different type of wireframe. We have the low fidelity wireframe, we have the mid wireframe, we have the high fidelity mockup. Right. So what is wireframe? Wireframe is layout, right? It's a layout like the basic structure of digital product, like a website or app. It emphasizes functionality and user flow over visuals, and it's just think of it like a project. Uh, oh, you guys can't see my screen. Oh, 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 man, oh, man. Moments. I thought I was sharing my screen. Someone is listening up. What was his name? Hazily. Oh my God. Yeah, you're listening up your hand. Um, all right. Can you guys see my screen, please? Oh man, oh man.
No, sir, we cannot see the screen.
Can I see my screen? Oh, I've got to. Sorry. This is. Let me stop. Let me stop sharing. Oh shit! I just. I thought I was sharing my screen. So just bear with me, guys. This is serious. Just I want share application. Right. All right. So I want to believe you guys can see my screen now. Yes. Yeah. All right. So right. So just think of wireframe as your project's blueprint, planning before building, right? So there is paper wireframe, just like sketch, a rough sketch. Oh, okay. Thanks so much, guys. Thanks so much for confirming that. All right. So why use wireframes? Wireframe is just we use wireframe to establish content organization and hierarchy. Tell your user journey early in the process. Some of the reason why you have to uh, use wireframe, right, is because just imagine you are working on a big project and you just jump into the high fidelity mockup, designing all those things. Then your the stakeholders, right, just now ask you that you design different screens like just imagine you design like one or something screens, right? They now said no, they don't like this kind of layout or something. They don't want this icon to be here, right? You have to start from the beginning. So the best thing is you have the wireframes and you come with your low fidelity wireframe and you know and have a meeting with your stakeholder or with your the other design guys, the teams, right? So just to see the user journey, from each screen as it's going to be the process of the product you are working on, project you are working on, right? And yeah, so wireframing best practice, you can start with your user flow, right? Like we did last. So we watched your assignment you guys did, the assignment you guys user flow was part of it, right? And once that is why user flow, you can't don't even skip user flow when you're working on a project, please. All right. If you can get your user flow right to come to wireframe, everything will be just to be smooth, right? And when you are working on a low fidelity wireframe, just focus on the structure, right? Not the style. You don't need to put any visuals now and color text or images. You don't need it, right? Use placeholder, right? Simple shapes for images and text, right? And you iterate quickly. So, you seek for feedback. So, like I said earlier, we have different types of or levels of what low fidelity wireframe, right? We have the low fidelity. The low fidelity wireframe is for quick sketches or grayscales layout for layout and flows, right? Fast to make and easy to change, right? So the tools to use that is a pen tools. We are going to do that, get that done. We are going to practicalize that. You guys will see what I'm talking about when we get into Figma. Right, then we have the mid fidelity, which is the mid fidelity structure is digital layout with clearer spacing and basic interactivity. You choose, you can use Figma, Sketch, Adobe XD, right? I don't think companies still choose, Adobe XD, right, for experience, and right. So then we have the high fidelity, right, closest to final decision, with clear content, color, and images, right, for approval. So I'll try to quickly. So that is wireframe for you, right? And now we are going to jump into Figma. So for those of us that does not have Figma, right? And so please, like I said, it will be very good because we're going to do a lot of practical here. And please, if you have any questions, please raise up your hand and you'll be asked to unmute yourself, right? Because I want everybody to, all of us, we have to align, right? right? So, so this is Figma for people that are just seeing Figma for the first time, or just seeing, or yeah, hearing the word Figma for the first time, or you might have heard the word, you don't know what what Figma does. Figma is a collaborative design platform for for wireframes, mockups, and prototype. And it's a cloud-based, uh, you know, it's a cloud-based, to collaborate. You can either, work online, or you can download the desktop software, right? And what does it mean when they said collaboration design? Figma is a collaborative design platform, right? So what does that mean? Now, as I'm on this Figma file now, I can invite people, right? Team members to join to come to this project. So I'm working on the project, right? I can invite team members, they can edit, if you're working on a big project, all right, we have different people working on different things on the Figma board. Some people might just be working on the buttons, some people just could be working on, maybe the landing page, the project is large, right? Have different people. You can just invite people, designers like you, people you want to have on the Figma frame, right? On the project, right? And the key features for Figma, some of the key features I mean, right? Um, so we have the vector editing tools, right? Which is this. We have the vector editing tools, reusable components and styles, interactive prototype. Then team comment. People can comment on this design. You can just, for example, now, let me just create a frame, and people that are working on this project, guys, they can just let me zoom in so they can just come here and say, okay, let me create something. This rectangle here, let me change color, and they can just say, come to comments here and just say, change the color, or add, let's say, add corner radius. Just put something there, corner radius. Oh, shit. Corner radius to your this thing, right? All those sort of things, right? So that is the where the you see that is where the comments this thing is about. So even people that cannot edit can comment on your design, right? As long as you give them the access, right? So so like I said, it works on web and desktop. So on the left here, I do call this thing the left panel, and the right one the right panel. Then we have the one here, bottom here, the bottom panel, right? Right. So I think if you have been using Figma or for a very long time, like 2 years ago now, this bottom panel wasn't here before. So everything were here, right? Uh, um, can you? Someone is saying something that I cannot hear. Kelvin, you say you can't see my screen still. Anyone is going to work conversation. Please, guys, you can hear me. Can you just give me a thumbs up? I think. Or anybody can just you can just unmute yourself and just me for me to know you can hear me. Oh, okay. Thank you, Adi Joker. Yeah, thanks so much. Thanks so much. Right. And yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Thanks so much. Thank you. You can mute your mic now. Thanks so much. Okay, so as our back to our this thing. So our Figma file, right? So the left here uh, we have the layer panel, right? So where you can, where your elements are organized, right? And so, for example, now if I duplicate this rectangle, you will see it here, right? So on your layer panel, which is the left panel here, right? So, right, and we have the property panel here, where you can change the position of your element, right? And everything. You can change the color, where you have the color, the appearance, where you can change the corner radius and all those sort of things. Then we have the fill, where you can change the color, right? So anything, right? And on the color panel, we have the gradient. We talk more about all these things, right? So I'm just right, running through you guys on some of the things, the tools, right? The panel, the features on Figma, right? So and on the workspace. So then we have the prototype here, where you can do your prototype. And for example, now you can just connect to this these two screens together, right? So we have, they are connected. So we talk about all these things. Yeah. So don't forget, we are just showing you the workspace, on Figma, right? So and let's get into the Figma for itself. All right. And one more thing here. So you can, if you want to share your design file, you can there are many ways to do that, right? You can copy the link and send it to the person you want to give access to. The person that wants, just the person wants the person to see your screen, right? The person wants. You can hide there are many ways. I said you can input the let's say I want to invite products, Jane Academy, blah blah blah, right? After everything, I can now click here. If I want to give them access, the person access to edit, I will click on edit, right? So all those sort of things. Then after that, you can now click invite here, right? Or you just copy the link and send it to the person, right? Sheyi, can you please can you join? It's breaking. Can you leave the class and join again? Maybe it might get better, right? If is you are the only one uh having this challenge, not challenge anyways, right? So yeah, that's it for that, right? So and let's create our first very simple design, right? And to do that, I want to believe everyone is on. I'm going to delete this screen now. I want to believe everyone is on this on their Figma file, right? Most especially people that are just this is their first time of using Figma to design, right? Okay, so bear in mind, we have in this class, I copied some. I think I love some design here that I really love. Uh, I copied the images, right? Um, that we are going to be designing in this class. Then I know that doing all these things is going to bring we designing this in class. It's going to bring more questions, right? People will be able to ask questions, right? And yeah, so before we go do that, so let's just create a single design like a frame. So if you can do that in many ways. Let's create a mobile frame. So you can either hit F on your keyboard, right? or you come to this bottom panel here. Can you see, right? Once you click on the drop down icon here, so we have the frame, we have the section, we have the slice, right? And we'll talk about sections and slides later. So if you click on the frame, right? So you are going to, so on your right panel, which is the property panel, right? Property level, right? Once you hit F or you click on that frame, right? It's going to bring different kinds of frames of frames. I mean, so we have the frame for mobile. We have the Android, Apple, iPhone X, blah blah blah. We have for tablet, we have for desktop, we have for presentation, we have for paper, social media, right? So let's use iPhone 16 Pro Max. Let's click on the frame here, right? Once you click on iPhone 16 Pro Max frame, right? So let's bring just to add some simple stuff on the design, just to make it more. All right. So if you are with me, let me know we are on the same page, right? And please, let's get this together. And like I said, it's going to be practical. I want people to ask questions, right? So let's design, for example, what can we design there? What on? Okay. This project I'm working on. Let me just copy something from there. Okay, let's design. I was thinking. Okay, in fact, let's all design this guy here. Very simple login and sign in page, right? So let's all design the first screen here, right? I want to believe everybody are with me and we're on the same page. So this is very simple, and let's quickly design this. All right. So, and I know that most people use not most people, right? They use what's it called? Rectangle. Me, I don't really use rectangle. So if I want to create any shapes, I use frames, right? So, and let's also redesign this screen, this login screen. Right? Are you ready? Okay. First of all, since we have, so you can, if you want to rename your frame, you click on the frame you want to rename first, right? Then you double click on it, right? Then once you double click on it, you can see this blue background on it, right? I'm going to click out. I click on it and double click, you will see this blue stuff on it, this blue background, right? So you can now rename it to, let's rename this guy to, let's rename it to login, right? So, and we have the background here, it's gray, right? You can choose, for example, now for me not to be just to if I don't want to type the code of my background here, since this is my reference here, I can click on this eyedrop. In Illustrator or Photoshop, it's called eyedrop tool, right? It's called eyedrop. So in Figma, it's called sample color. So once you click on this sample color, all right, it can just bring it to the color you want to copy, right? Click on it, and this has changed, right? And at every point in time, if you have any question, please ask. Right. So we have that. Right. So the next thing is we are going to put this status by here right later. And so we have the our create account. So let's to do that, right? You can each most of my work I use shortcuts a lot, but I don't like uh training people with shortcuts, right? And so um you can you can use you can use that, right? And for example now, if you want to create a type, if you want to type on your screen or anything you want to type, you can just come here where we have this T shape here. Just click on it and come to the frame, not outside the frame. You come into the frame. So just for you to know that you are on the frame, you've clicked on the frame, you will see this like a blue, right? Blue stroke, more like stroke, for you to know that you are on that same frame, right? So you now click inside the frame and let's create an account, right? Right, and you know, on the text property here, we have the align horizontal, we have the align left, right? We have the align right, we have the align top, we have the align vertical centers, right? And then we have the align bottom, right? So first of all, I'm going to click on the align horizontal centers, right? So then I'm going to change the fonts, right? For you to do that, come to typography here. So under fonts typography property, we have the font name where you can choose any sort of font you want, right? You can do that here, right? Once you over on any font here, it's going to change to any font of your choice. Then you can type the font you want to use here, right? For example, let's say a Ionic, right? Let's use a Ionic for this thing. You can use anyone you're working on from there, right? So I'm going to change it to um, 18, right? And I'm not going to use a unit because I'm looking for semi-bold. This font doesn't have enough family, doesn't have different variants. So I'm going to go back to my intent, right? And still 18 and semi-bold, uh, medium, right? So we have that. So I'm taking more time just to get on this. So just for us to understand. All right. And here now you can now duplicate your text. So you don't need to come here again and start typing. You can duplicate. There are different ways to duplicate any element, right? You can once you click on the element you want to duplicate, hold on Alt, right, and left click and drag, right? So someone is asking a question. I said someone is raising up his hand, or is it his or her? So you can unmute your mic if you have a question, please. Right. So you can do that by to duplicate, or you press Control D. Right. Once you press Control D, just bring it out. Left click, and then bring it out. Right. Kelvin, you said display screen is not showing. Please, can you log out and join in back? Right. So and so we already have an account here. So let's quickly do that. Already have an account. Then I'm going to change the font, all right? And People can't hear me. Is it? Is it? No, please, if you cannot hear me, please, can you log out and rejoin again? Right, please. But I would love everyone to hear me so that we can go ahead, right? Right. So let's just continue. Sorry guys, it's a bit distraction for me when people say they can't hear what I'm saying, or they can't see my screen. Right. I get worried about that. So all right. Oh my God, I'm kind of distracted there. So create an account, right? And right. So we change the fonts to uh, 14 and go back to uh, light, right? Sometimes I even use this is good. All right. Okay, yes. Thank you. If you can, I can at least someone said if you can see my screen and hear me, that's fine. That's fine for me. So I'm a bit distracted. So no more distraction for me. So sorry about that, guys. So and we already have an account, right? And let's duplicate this guy again, right? And for the yes, right? So we've got to to change the color. Then we have the color here to of login, right? So we change the font weight, right, to medium, right? And come here again, click on the color here, come to your color property here, click on this box here, right? And because we want to reuse the color we have here, we want to get the sample color on the reference image. Same thing, right? Click on the sample color and come here and click on it. So we have our login there, right? So, and I'm going to, yeah, so even though we've not gotten to I wanted to teach you guys for auto layer, but so not for you to confuse you guys too much. People that are just starting, right? But I'm going to use auto layout, all right? The shortcut, right? Hopefully we'll get to auto layout in our next class. So the shortcut is to, right, Shift A, right? And I'm going to center this as well, right? And center this guy too as well, right? You can see this guy's name in the middle, and I'm going to auto layout these guys. I love auto layouts a lot. Auto layouts will make your job easier, right? So the spacing between these guys, yeah, remain eight pixel, right? All right. So then moving on to the next screen here. So we have the input field, right? Then we have for both email and password, right? And let's quickly create that. Um, okay, someone said they don't have the sample, right? Of creating this thing. Okay, this is what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to, very quick one, I'm going to export this sample, right? Um, one of the admin is going to post it and send it to the admin, one of the admin, and they are going to post it on the group, right, for you guys to, so that you can model it as well. So let me use that opportunity. You want to export your any element on your Figma, right? So you click on the element or frame you want to export, right? You come to just locate export, right? Click on the plus icon, all right? And you click on the 1x, all right? I usually use 4x for the to get the picture, right? I'm going to export this guy now, export image, right? And so I'm going to rename it to sample. All right, and very quick one. So let me send it to one of the admin to post it. So so sorry about guys. Um, very quick one. Please bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. Uh, I totally forgot how to send this thing to the color of sense to the class. All right. Just give me 5 seconds, guys. So before we move on, if you have any question, please unmute your mic, please. And right, why I'm doing this. Okay, so let's create the input field, and so to like I said, most people use Kelvin. Okay, go ahead, please unmute your mic and let's.
Sorry, I don't mean to take you back all.
No, it's fine. It's fine. That is why we are here. I don't mind.
I have the Figma set up in my browser, and I'm finding it difficult to have all these icons you have on the left and the right set up on my own. I don't know if it's because it's a browser version, or I can show you my screen, and this is I can show you.
So you know what is going to happen here, Kelvin, right? So yeah, let's finish this screen, right? And you can now you can see what you're talking about. You can now share your screens. Even maybe some people might have question, based on what you are talking about, right? I don't know if that is okay by you.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
All right. Okay, so let's create the input field and hit F on your keyboard, or I'm so sorry guys, I said I don't like teaching people how to shortcuts, right? Most especially beginners. So just come to your Premiere and left click and drag it, right, and release it. So for the height we'll be using 48, right? And for the weight, and let's leave it as 266 for now, right? And most of you will be wondering, where is my frame that I just created now? So you have to come to fill here, frame is different, come to add fill, right? Because I'm still using this reference color, right? And please just come to the sample color here and click on this guy here, right? That's awesome, right? So we have the uh, frame here, right? So we have the corner. On this our reference, there is a corner radius, right? For us to do that, you click on the frame before you can do that, right? You come to your appearance here, right? And you can, because of what you are working on, so you can just, I'm going to give this thing a rounded uh, this thing, corner radius, right? So right, so we have the corner radius that's been sorted out, all right? And So one thing, so this is just one way of creating this input field. This is just like a beginner level, right? You can't see. I'm going to teach you another way of creating all this input field, right? So and so we have uh, the text there, the email address, right? So you come to your what's it called? You come to your text, right? And click on the text, and you click inside that frame, the text icon. You click inside that frame and type in your email address, right? So this is the most easiest way of creating this thing, right? But since you are just starting, right? Later you guys will stop creating all this thing like this, right? So we are going to change uh, the font weight number one and the right, and you bring this guy here. So number one, that's number one, and you make it be at the center, um, center here, and you give it. So that is why I love uh, auto layouts. Auto layout always plays like this, right? So right, so we have our email address here, input field, right? And you can now duplicate this just to make your work easier. And like I said, how to duplicate, I'm going to delete this and do that again, right? So one more thing, guys, I uh before we continue, in every of my work, I love using uh, grids. So grid system. So maybe later we talk about grid system. So let's create one grid system here, right? And which is great. Just for us. Grid system is used for mostly alignments to align your work. Excuse me. Right. So to create a layout guide, you can see it, right? Click on the plus icon here, right? So you click on this drop down where we have the grid, you click on the column, right? And so typically for mobile, right, the column is always 4, right? The column is usually 5, right? The margin is 16, right? While the gutter is 8, right? So yeah, you can tweak this, but typically the counts, right, which is this column here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, right, is usually 4, right? For you can decide that you want your what's it called, the margin maybe 32, depend on your own this thing, right? Right? But 16, me, I use 16. Sometimes I use 24, right? Depending on what I'm working on, right? So, and yeah, that's that, right? So, I just quickly say I should talk about that before we move ahead. Very important, right? So, so we can now remove this guy here. Right. If you don't want your column to be distracting you or to be disturbing you, you can click Shift G on your keyboard to bring it in, or Shift G to take it out. Shift G, Shift R, Shift G, Shift G, Shift G to hide it, to want to see it, right? Then one more thing, you can reduce the color opacity here, right? And just come here, you can change it to 5, right? Do you see? Okay, so very important. It will help you a lot. It will make your job very easy. So we have the input field for email, right? Then we have for, I duplicate this. Like I said, if you want to duplicate, you hit Alt and you drag it, or you Control D as well, right? Or you know, you copy Control C, Control V, all sort of thing, right? So since we have input field before, let's just create this for password and password here, right? We have for password. So how are we going to get this icon, right? This password icon, this high icon. So you can come to your left bottom panel here, right, where we have actions. All right. So then you click on, come to, we have the all, we have the assets, we have plugins and asset and widgets, right? Come to plugins, right? So let me show you guys how to install plugins on your device, on your Figma, right? So these are installed plugins I have on my Figma, and but let me show you, right? And for example, let's say we want to use, I'm going to uninstall one plugin here now, which is on Splash, right? So let me you so let me input the plugins, the name of the plugins I want to import, I want to install on my Figma. So let's just type on Splash, right? So once you locate on Splash, the plugin, you click on it, then you click on run, right? So I have the plugin there. So now if you go back to your this thing, you would find your plugins. You notice that this guy is there already there on Splash. Right? So now we want to add this icon here. I didn't say you should open a Splash. I opened it now. So we want to add this icon here, right? So what do you do? Just if you don't have Iconify plugin on your system, or any icon plugins, right? Icon plugin, it's not a must to use the one I'm using, right? But if you want to, just go to your plugins and type Iconify. I use Iconify a lot for most, and so I'm very sure there are better icons this thing, but this is my own this thing. So the name of the uh icon that I want to use, right? So can just type hi, right? It will bring it, you know. So we have it. Can you see? So once you click on it and drag it here out here, right? And you can change the color here. You come to yours, click on it where we have selection colors, right? The color is black. Then the one we have here is in black, right? Even though, so this is we have different type of icon. We have field icon and outline icon, right? So the one here is field icon, right? And so I am not going to, so I'm going to look for another one that looks like this, right? And I'm going to go to my Iconify again, right? And look for the one that is not field, 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 right? And so but if I cannot get it, so just because of time, I'm just going to go ahead and use it, all right? So so bring it and drag it inside your frame here, right? So this is the right. Yeah. So we have that. So one more thing, you just have to group this guy together just for it to be on the same. We have the the two input field. So one more thing, another thing is for you not to be creating buttons again, and you can just come to this guy here, the first input field here, copy it out, and right click here and paste here inside this frame again, right? And paste it here. So what you just have to do is just to first thing you've got to do is to change the color first, right? You change the color of the frame and you change the color of the text, right? The next thing you bring the text to the middle, right? Then you change the font weight of the text, right? Then you, you change it to continue. So you can now call this importing now, right? I hope that makes sense, right? So we are getting there gradually, right? So this is the simplest way. So now we have the input field, we have this guy here. And so now the next thing is to create this, or if you're not signing in with your if you don't sign in with you want to put your email and password to want to continue with your social media account, maybe public social account, Google, Apple Store, Facebook. So let's create that 2 lines here, right? So before I go ahead, please, if you have any question, please unmute your mic and you can unmute your mic and say something and ask your question. So if there's no questions, I want to believe we are clear then. Any question? Okay, no question. All right. So let's create the line. So to create that line, the 2 lines, so you can hit L on your keyboard. Oh, shortcut again. Oh my God. You come to your bottom panel here, right? Um, right. So click on where we have this rectangle, right? And click on the drop down, you will find your line shape here, line, right? So the shortcut is L, all right? So you hold on shift to get a straight line, hold on shift on your keyboard and you left click and drag it, right? And drag it. I think this is better, right? And we have our line here. All right, so you can change it to 0.5 pixel. This is too thick for this kind of thing I want to achieve, right? So we have this line here, right? And one more thing is the second one. So you can duplicate again, right? Just to get just duplicate it out, right? And you hold on these two and auto layout, right? And give these guys spacing, right? Don't forget anything you are doing, should must not pass this column, right? Okay. All right. So let's move on. I'm going to hide my line as well, and I'm going to remove this. Oops. I'm going to remove this actually as this my line is too long. All right, and so I'm going to copy this and just to also to paste to change this line here, I can just Control Shift R to paste the property, right? So with that. right? And hit T on your keyboard, right? Then type or sign up with, right? Okay, so we have to go to change the font weight here. Come here and to light, make this 12, right? And you can now make this guy to position yourself at the center, right? This guy is at the center now. And hit shift, uh, right? So what you can now do again to get a good this thing, hit shift G for keyboard, right? So here you have it, right? And yeah, so we have our sign in and right. So I'm taking time to explain this. On the norms, this shouldn't take up to 2 minutes, right, to create this thing, right? I just want us to get along with what we are working on, right? So, we have this our icons here. We have the Google icons, Apple icon, and so whatever icon, and Facebook icon, right? And so, how can we get that? So, again, I go to my Iconify, right? And I type uh, Google there, right? And I think this Google, I have this Google here now. And what about in Apple, right? You type Apple here, uh, and it's the app, it's on Apple, right? And Facebook, type in Facebook, right? And here we go. So awesome. So let me teach you guys very simple thing that won't waste your time. Make sure these icons are the same pixel, right? You can see this is on 16 pixel and this is on 24 pixel. This is on 24 pixel. Great. So we got to change this Google icon to 24 pixel, right? By 24, right? And so first of all, let's create our frame, right? Go to this frame icon here, right? You let's create a simple um, frame. So to get that um, stroke, so what you have to do is just to come to your stroke here, where we have stroke on your right panel here. You click on the plus icon here, right? And click on outside. You click on the white background you want to use, right? And you give it a corner radius, right? And you come to your corner radius here, and you can input the parameter, right, you want, right? So, and that is how, if you can get this first, right? So, I'm going to change the stroke weight to 0.5, right? So, the next thing is to bring this icon inside this place, right? And we need to change this to 48 as well. Oops. Uh, 40. All right. So these guys, oh man, bring this icon inside this frame, right? And make it center, right? So we have this guy here, right? So what I just have to do here is to duplicate this Google frame, right? Control D, right? And what I can do again is just to use my also layouts and the spacing. Let's make it 16 isn't bad at all, right? And so now what you can now do is come to your change the color of your this Facebook. I thought it was blue. This is red. Okay, you change the color of your apple to um, white because we have white here. So you copy it, right? So now this is what you can do here. So this is it. This is the just check here. Then you come here now. You click on your on your Google on this Google here. Come to anywhere of the frame. You click on the Google frame, right? You right click on it, right? And click on paste to replace. Control Shift R, right? Boom. We have it. So we have that there, right? So the Facebook, let's change the color of the Facebook of our Facebook to I think we have here, right? And change it to this blue, right? Same thing, same process. We copy this guy here, and so you just double click this frame here, right? So you right click again, paste to replace. Boom. All right. Does that make sense? So we have we have that. So the next thing here, we're almost done with this guy. So I'm just going to copy this guy here, copy this text here, and bring it down here, and paste here. All right. And I'm just quickly going to type uh, type this here by clicking, blah blah blah, by clicking create account. Agree to recognize. What is this guy? All right. So yeah, I'm just thinking of just looking at what is written here. Right. This is the bad UI distance. Maybe this thing was actually a sample too as well. Right. I just what is written there. Right. Right. So I duplicate again. So this terms and conditions too as well. Terms of use and privacy. Right. So I'm going to change the color of this guy here. So it's white, and I'm going to reduce the, change it, reduce the opacity here, right? And so the terms of use too, right? Terms of use, right? So so to get you can underline this thing just for us to get the underline that we have there, right? So just come to your text property here, right? And we have just come here, come to this type settings, right? You can now put it there to underline your text where we have decoration, right? So you can put it there, right? I hope that makes sense. And you change the color, and all right, you can reduce the opacity of your you can bring it down a little bit, right? And okay, so you can now duplicate this again for the privacy policy instead of writing it all over again. Privacy policy, right? And one more thing here I have to do here is and the and, right? So we have the and, right? Then we have this guy here to bring this guy together, and can just do two layers, right? Bring this guy to the middle, Oops, oops. All right. So I'm going to group these guys together and add auto layouts, make it full pixel. Right. Boom. So here we go. Any question, please? Any question? Any question before we go ahead? Any question? Any question? Any question? Kevin, who wants to ask? Who have a question? Someone is raising up. Any question? All right. Okay, I'm going to call up on someone and maybe about to believe. Easily. Any question? Colade, you can unmute your mic, please. So ask the question, it can help others too. But if you cannot unmute your mic, that's fine. Or just sorry, but I can't see your screen. Please, can't see your screen. Still can't see your screen. Really? So, if you can still see my screen, please unmute your mic. Just let me know you can see my screen.
Yeah, I can still see your screen. Thank you, sir.
Oh, thanks so much. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. What she said I should explain something. Oluwaseyi, please unmute your mic if you can talk. Okay. Auto layout. All right. So yeah, I don't want us to go to auto layout. Auto layout is really it's a topic. It's like it's a subject on its own. Like we can use a whole day to explain auto layout, but I'm going to explain it briefly, right? And so the word auto layout is just to I'm going to do something here now, just for me to explain auto layouts. I'm just going to explain just few things auto layouts, can do, while you're working on your project, right? I'm going to duplicate this frame. It helps you to arrange your objects together. Like, so for example, now you can see these guys are scattered, right? They are not on the same. Let me use my ruler and let me bring this guy here, and let me bring this guy here. So they are not arranged together, right? I'm just quickly going to explain this very simple, right? So for you to make your life easy by on a note, some people you don't have to be dragging it together, just for you to know, yeah, is this thing aligned or not, right? You don't need all those sort of things, right? So that is why we have this auto layout. Auto layout is just click on the element you want to align together, rearrange together, right? So just click the shortcut Shift A on your keyboard, right? You can see these guys are on the same level now, right? I'm going to ungroup it, right? So auto layout is wide, right? Is it like I said? So I can bring this guy now just to bring this guy for vertical. We have I don't want to go there, right? But there's a lot. Probably we might do some auto layout for next week, right? So since we have no question, right? So just for us to preview this our design here, which frame are we using? I think iPhone 4 on 402. So you can click on the frame and click on hold on shift on your keyboard, shift space, right? Right. So for us to see the design, right? So very simple stuff like that, right? So the only thing that is missing here, I did not put here, is the status bar, right? The right. So so the next thing now, so while this thing is loading, I'm just going to quickly. Network access. Yeah, sometimes this thing, sometimes if it is taking time like this, could be because of your network. So now I think this is my network because these are so yeah, you can see what you've done, right? And this can be better, very much better, right? Just because of the sake of the this can be better, right? So this is it. So you can preview this thing, this your design on your phone, right? By downloading Figmirror. Once you download Figmirror on your phone, you log in your Figma accounts, right? So you go to where on the app, just click on mirror there. So once you click on mirror, you must make sure that any screen you want to mirror, you must click on it, or else it's not going to mirror anything. All right. So yeah, so that is that. So um before we quickly move on, so and there's some things. Let's say we have this frame here now, and how to put images, how to make sure we have images on this. We want to get images on these frames, these 4 frames here, right? We have here. So you can go to any of your this thing. I use on Splash plugins. Sometimes I download the images depending on what I want to, right? I can now, let's say I want to put different images on different niche frames, right? Uh, let's just use image of a man, right? And let's say we want to put images on this frame at the same time, right? Oops. Okay, all right. So I'm going to click on this guy here. So if you notice what happened here, when I click on the images here, so this guy filled this image of this guy filled the whole stuff, right? So the reason why is because I did not um, select multiple images, right? So that was what happened, right? So you can change um, that's how you can put image on your frame or your rectangle or anything, right? Then another way, probably maybe you have the image on your system, right? Just come to field here, right? And upload from computer, right? From computer. So you can, for example, let's say I want to put this image here now. I want to replace it with this image, right? So that's another way, right? Then you can put video as well, all right? So that is different ways of um, adding image on your frame, right? Or you can drag the image on your Figma and now put it inside. That is another way, right? And so and yeah, so that's it. So another thing is a moment, please. So that is image for you, right? And how to remove image background. So let me quickly show you guys how to do that. And let's say I want to remove this guy background. Let me look for. I'm going to bring this image here, all right, and it's loading. Oops, that's wrong. I'm going to bring this image here now, right? So to remove this image, right, you can come here, right, and click on remove background. So some of you, yeah, you might not have this AI stuff on your Figma. Maybe if you are using the free version, right, you might not have it. But I'm going to show you another way to remove background on Figma, right? So you can just click here. The AI is doing its work, you know, it's trying to remove the background of the event because we have plenty things, different things. That's why it's taking so much time like this, right? So almost ready. Um, this guy is taking so much time. I think because I should have used image that is not that don't have plenty images. Don't have no, this guy is taking so much time. So let me quickly can't take it. This is better. Oh man. Oh, bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. Oh man. Oh man. Oh, finally. Finally. Do you see? Right? You know, isn't this great? All right. So that is one way. If you have the AI, if you're not using the Figma education or Figma this thing, so you should be able to do that on your device, right? So another way is by um, let's use the proper plugins now to remove this image. But I'm not going to use this image now because I don't have that time. So by using these guys plugin, remove background plugins. So this is not Figma. So we can just I'm going to bring another image right here. So, right, and you know, sorry guys. Excuse me. Okay, for a simple image I can use for this thing. That won't take much time. Okay, so let's use this image, and we are not using the Figma AI background this time around. So you are going to go to your plugins, all right? So since I have a plugin before, just go to remove background, right? Same thing, right? But the reason I'm showing you this because you might on your own Figma, you might not have the Figma remove background AI, right? Excuse me, on your Figma, right? So I'm just going to search for remove. So when you see the remove BG, right? So since I think I've installed it, so I'm going to run it again. Okay, I still have it. So you have to have an account before you can. These guys they remove background only for the first time on your Figma, right? So you must have an account. So you have to copy the API key, right? So before you can do that. So yeah, so this is it, right? For this might take some time. Then I want us to do some other things before we uh, before we call it a night. So I think this is one of the things this guy needs to do. He should be able to close something that you're not doing it again. Like this, as I'm running this plugin now, there should be a close icon here that I don't need it again. Right? Okay, it's not showing me cancel now. Let me cancel it. All right. So that's it, guys, for for removing background. Right. So we don't we created a screen for mobile. So let's do simple one for what's it called? For let's create this home page, right? It was just the um, hero section, I mean, for this real estate stuff, right? So are you ready? All right. So before we do that, we've got to have a frame, a mobile frame, a desktop frame. We've got to create a desktop frame before we can do that. So, once you hit key F on your keyboard, right, automatically this guy is going to show, right? So I will come to my desktop. We have different frames for desktop. So, right, um, I, usually most of the time I use 1440, which is the best. You can scale it up, you can expand it to 1440 by 1024, right? Right. So we are going to use that. So right. So sample, right? And like I said, so we have on this design here, we have the menu header here, right? So we have the hero section here, which we have the text. We have two buttons. Then we have one button on the menu here. Right. So then we have the image, right? So let's us quickly create that. This is very simple, right? So I don't need to do too much of talking here, since we've done. I think I've done that on why we're creating the mobile. So the first thing, like I said, I'm working on anything I usually create a column, right? And for these, I'm going to create as I use grid just to align my work, just to make sure, even though I can see this thing is clearly aligned, I still want to use it, right? So come to add my guide here, come to column, right? Since this is desktop, I'll be using 12, right? And the margin I use um, 40, right? The margin sometimes depends. Let me use 80. So this design, I think they use uh, their margin is not up to, let me use 60, right? From what I'm seeing from this design, right? So the first thing, let's first create the I'm going to remove my grid, right? The guideline now by using Shift G, right? So the first thing we have this, let's place this background first, and the color, click on the sample color, right? We have the background, right? And the next thing is to create the menu here, the other menu, right? So let's quickly do that. So the first thing, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to create the text menu, which is the like the home, all sort of things, right? The home here, so that's this. I'm going to make this 16 pixel, right? And make it medium, right? So I'm going to duplicate this, right? I'm going to use Octo layout, even though just I'm not teaching you guys Octo layout, but that's the easiest way, right? And I'm going to make this auto layout first, just to make it get a frame from it, right? And I'm going to, that's it. So I'm now going to duplicate it, right? Um, four, five. How many do we have there? We have 5, one more. So, and I'm going to give everything auto layout again, right? Shift. So I'm going to make this 24, 28, right? So we have the services, right? We have the properties and properties. We have the projects, then blog, right? Okay, so we have this guy here now, and what next? Remaining the logo and the button, right? So what I can do now is just to copy this guy out, right? For me to get my button, copy one of the frame out here, paste it here, and you see how I'm going to get my button here now. And what I'm going to do is field color, right? To get my color, the button color, right? Right, and what you just have to do now is just to increase the signing, right? So because I'm using auto layout, right? So like I said, auto layout is right because this on the auto layout settings, right? I have org there, right? Org means it will keep expanding, right? While I'm doing it. I have org for both horizontal and vertical. You can see it here, right, on my auto layout. But if I should remove it for what is it called? For sugars, for the height, right? You will notice that it will by itself, right? It will remove the org, right? It will go normal. I say it will go normal. It will change the orientation the text is going, right? To to horizontal, right? So if I should remove it from fixed, right? So now we have the sign in here, and then we have our corner radius, right? And we can bring this thing to 6, right? And all right, and the corner radius, the way we change it the other time, just give this one a little small stuff like that. And I'm going to change the font weight of my text to semi-bold. Right, so we have this guy too as well. Right, we have the button remaining the logo. We have the logo, so just the logo now. So what you can do is I rise, right, and scale this one up. To scale it up, hit K on your keyboard, right? To scale any element up, and you can hit K on your keyboard, and I'm just going to quickly create a very simple logo, right, for this, and just to I'm going to change the color of these guys to this, and I'm going to change the font as well to one funny font. Alright, just to make it look okay. All right. Hey, don't like this. Oops. Okay, so this is great. So so we have our logo too as well, right? Yeah. So it's too big. We need it scale it down a little bit. All right. So now, so what we've got to do now is to group these guys together, right? By hitting our two layouts. So, and don't forget, if you are working on anything, your design or any element shouldn't be half of this color. Now our own design now is half of the color we created. So what can we do is just to come to our spacing here. So that will be beauty about the beauty things about auto layout, right? So we are on track now. Do you see? Even though it's remaining small here, right? And right. So yeah, so we have this header now, right? So do you realize that there is something here, right? There's the color here. We have to give our header another color, right? Here, right? Which is, so we are going to add padding to this. Give this guy 24, right? The header, right? And let's give this guy 12, right? And let's give color to this guy here, right? So we are getting there. So like this 32, 10, right? So and bring this guy to the top here. Oops, have I done? This guy was inside the square. Okay, it's there. So we bring this guy to the top here. So now we have our excuse me, we have our menu here, right? So next thing is to get the text, the header here, header text. And so there's one thing I need to teach create a style guide and color palette, right? So I'm going to teach you guys that before we round up, right? So but let's quickly do this. All right. So um, find your home, all the blah blah blah, and find your twin property. Hello, Emmanuel. Can I say something, Emmanuel?
No, sir, no, sir.
Okay, okay, all right. So find your dream property effortlessly. All right, effortlessly. Supposed to even change the stuff. So I'm going to scale it and oops, right, and oh, all right, and so I'm going to change this to bold and something else. Don't forget, make sure that your this thing, every of your elements is aligned, right? It's not part of the column, right? So we have this guy here, and so the spacing here is in the box, and the something is missing. Okay, so we have this, we have the subtext as well, and going to run quickly through these and make these stain, right? So blah blah blah. Uh, guys, sorry for the background noise. Right. So okay, so we get let's create a some text for this. So let's create a subtext because I can't see what is used there, right? And use 15. I can't see what they use. All right. So I will make it change correct. So you can now place tutorial these guys together. Right, the spacing here shouldn't be make it 16 pixel, right? And your text height spacing, right? Line height, right? This is cool. Okay, all right. So we've got this now, and what next? The two buttons, right? We have the field button and the outline button. So by the way, guys, there are different types of buttons. So at the end of, so just check your Google class after this call, right? And I'm going to drop some things there, right? that can help you guys, right? So, so yeah, so let's create, we have the button. So from this button here, I can just duplicate this, right, to save time, and you know, just bring it here, paste it here, and bring it here, right? So get started. We have the get started here, right? Let's started, right? So there's an arrow there, right? That was on the button here. So let's add that. Go to my Iconify, right? Just look for arrow, right? And say, let me use this guy, right? And just to change it. Oops. Minus, minus 90. All right. So I can just drag this guy now. It's this area. So there are many ways to paste this area because this button is on auto layout, right? If I should just copy, right now, I'll just copy and paste here, paste my button here, it will automatically, you know, put this button, place this button where, because my button is on auto layout, right? So, so yeah, so that's the beauty of, that's one of the crazy things about auto layout, right? So now I can now change the color of my arrow here I think they use white there. So we have the field button here, right? So one more thing, then we have the outline button. So we are going to duplicate this guy again. Excuse me, right? So I'm going to add auto layout, right? And I'm going to remove this guy. Hide it. I can hide it or remove it, right? So become what? What's it? Become an investor. So become an investor, right? So right. So what happened here is because my button here is on the height here is on um is on fixed, right? So what I can do now, I should just put on oops, put it on org here. So once I put it on org, the weight will automatically rearrange itself. Right. So now it's let's remove the field and add stroke to it. Right. How do we do that? And we do that by so awesome. Right. Yeah, here we go. So we have this, and what else do we need to get our design? So we need to add the images here. So another thing after that, like I said, I love auto layouts a lot. So can just make this guy 48 pixel, right? This is cool, right? Then our image, how do we get this image? So I'm going to draw the stuff. Let me use let me use this guy first. By the way, it's not a must. This guy must be here. I can move my design here. It must not pass this page. Alright. Alright, so we have a rounded shape here. Need to add corner radius, right, to this, and right, so add this, right, so we have this guy here, and what else? We have another um, we have another card here. So how do we create that card? So first of all, let's create a let's bring an image of a real estate, right, of a house. So let's look for something similar. So how can we do that? Okay, you can go to your on Splash. Go to on Splash, right? Or Pixel. If you have the plugins, or you go to there are different places where you can download full images. You can go to Flippig, I use Flip Live, right? Since 2019, I've been using Flippig until I finally paid for it. All right, and it's just a great place to get free images, right? Free images, you get great, good images, quality, right? So just look for a apartment. Let me type apartments here on Splash. If you are going to look at kind of what you're looking for, right? So I hope my network is really crazy today. Oh, can you guys still see my screen? No, yes, yes, no. Oh, my network is. Hello, can you guys see my screen, right? Can you guys see my screen? I think my distance is interrupted for some time. Oh man. Uh, this is crazy. Okay. Um, I want to believe you guys can see my screen, right? Let's look for nice apartments. So sorry, guys. I was kicked out. Okay. All right. So let me share my screen again. So this image I'm using here, I don't really like it, but just because of time, I'm just going to please. Uh, I'm just going to use it like that, right? But I don't really like it. Uh, so so this is our image here, right? And we can. So sorry about the noise, guys. I'm so sorry about that. So uh, the last thing we got to we create here. So so you guys can finish the rest. Create this other card. This is a card. Don't forget. Yeah, what you are saying here. This is the card. There's a frame here. This is a frame. I don't know if you can see my right. So this is the frame here. So afterwards, a card was created, right? And all this text was. So what I'm talking about is I'm talking about the second second card here. I need to lock up here. Please, a minute, guys. Let me lock this door up. This is crazy. Hey, come here. Inside, 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 go inside. Inside. Okay. So sorry about that. So yeah. So is there any question? Yeah, I want to answer questions now, right? I want to answer that. Any questions? I'm here to answer. Okay. Um, there's no question, right? So let's continue. So let me show you guys how to. So you guys, you are going to finish this design. We started here, right? So very quickly, let me show you guys how to create style guide, right? But I think you guys are tired, but I can show you how to do that, guys. So if you still want me to do that, please give me a yes. You can say a lot of yeses there. So that's fine. So, okay. So let's go ahead. And so how to create a style guide? Just imagine you're working on a project now, all these ones I'm doing, creating, bringing colors from here, blah, blah, blah. Excuse me, right? It's a, you have guys working on the project with you. Yeah, you guys, you've got to create a design system, all right? So where you have, either reusable component, or style guide or typography, all those sort of things, right? So let's just create a simple style guide, right? There are many ways to create all these things, right? But I'm going to show you the simple ways, right, to create style guide, right? So let's say our primary colors, right? Um, we have the we have this guy here. Please, if you can see my screen, let me. Okay, I want to believe you can see my screen. We have this guy here, and we have. Oh no, really? Let me stop sharing my screen. Let me stop sharing my screen and see again. Stop sharing, and I'm going to share application and right. Okay. So can you see my screen now? Yes. Okay. So let's say this our primary color. We have this guy, right? Then we have this guy. Let's say thank you, Adejoke. Then let's say white or this our main color. Then one more color. Let's say gray. I want to use gray. Right. So we have these guys here now. So just imagine you're working on different screens. You can't just be going back and come and be copying color. You have like working on different types of screens. You can, right? So what you can do is I'm going to show you just simple two ways today, right? Very simple, right? And so for example now, this rectangle, let's say it's the primary color. So to create your style guide, right? So you've got to come here. Can you see apply style? Come to fill. Click on this menu icon here where you will see once you over on it, it's going to show apply style. Click on it, right? And the reason why you're seeing all these colors is because of some of the, these are the these are some style guides on the work I've worked on before, right? So to create a style guide for this, so I'm going to, so once you click on that, so you come to click on this plus icon, new style or variable, right? Variable is an advanced class, so we don't have to talk about that now. So I'll come to style. So you can name your style, right? Let's say this one is for let's say button, right? Let's say this is for button, right? Button, right? If you like, you can put your description there, right? Use for buttons, use for primary buttons, use for primary buttons, right? So once you create it, you notice on the left panel here, we have it under style, right? So now, if I should create a shape here now, right? I don't need to come to this, click here and start looking for one, or just come and do eyedrop here. So what I just have to do, I'll click on this place, come here. Under styles here, you will see your buttons. Boom, we have it, right? So let's do the same thing for the rest of the buttons, right? Very quickly, right? And you come here, all right? Styles, not variables. So the variables is different. The variable is different. So that's an advanced level, right? So let's just say background, right? Just this one background, create, boom, right? And this one is, let's just say this one is text color, for example, all right? Click on this plus, click on come to style, all right? Text color, right? And you create style, right? This one too as well, create, right? Come here again, this styles, right? Let's say this one is text color too as well. You can name yours anything you want, right? That your team will understand. So you don't have to be, let's say, yeah, secondary button. Okay, so now we have these guys here. So you can now bring all these guys, like want them to be under a collection, right, of a button, right, of a color style collections, right? So you can come here, you can just create you can create in this file here, right, to get, to have this thing in different collections, right? Just imagine now, I want to, okay, let me create a text here and say great y, right? I'm going to make this very bold, right? And the opacity here, and make it black, right? So this text now, oops, this my spelling is not correct, right? So this text now, I want to change the color to this color. So what I can do, since we have our style guide, I'll just come here under fill the menu here, come to, so once you have it, anybody that is working on the project, they know what all these colors are working for, different colors for all those things, right? So this is the most simplest way. So then let me show you another way where you can just, the very, that one is extremely simple, right? Easy, right? So, so let's say I want to change the color to here. So just come here, boom, come to here, and let's say secondary here, right? So let me show you this, the most very simplest way to do this, and using what plugins, right? So now you go to your, come here where we have the actions, right? Plugins, come to plugins. Since I have the plugins um for the color generator. So we have different types. So sometimes I use this foundation, right? Excuse me, click on it, right? It's loading. So while it's downloading, right? So come here, right? Copy the, I'm going to unlink this my color here. So copy the color code here and come here where we have name of color here, then we have color, then put where we have this code here and paste your own code here. All right. Paste your own code here. You can see that then we have different shades of orange now, right? We have the dark, then we have the light shades, right? So now we've created that. So just once it's done, just create stars. Click on create stars, right? Boom, boom, right? So that has been created somewhere. These things, I think it's hidden, right? So once you click on, that's how much my network. So once you click on create stars, right? If you come here under your, if you click on any, if you create, like for example now, if I should create any element here, like rectangle, right? If I should come to this place, you will see that we have different shades shades of orange. We have the active, over, normal, and all those sort of things, right? These plugins have created this thing automatically. Unlike we going to, creating all these things from the beginning, you have to go here, go here. So you do the same thing for. So in fact, this is it here again. You do the same thing for the rest of the colors, right? You want to use, right? So I'm going to do it once again for, let me create another color for it. Let's say this guy, let's use blue this time around, right? So go to your plugins, right? Foundation, color generator, right? Copy the code. This is the default code. Once you open this, that you will see. Copy the code here and paste it here, right? And click on create star, right? So waiting. Right, so we have it. So if I should click here now and come to here, you will see we have it here already. Do you see? We have it here, dark over, dark, normal, active, all those things. Right. So yeah, so that is another way, right? Then there's advanced way of creating these things, right? So this is just for like uh yeah, small projects, right? Right. So that's that for style guide. Right? Is there any question? Is there any question? Right? Before we move on to typography. Any question? Okay. All right. So no questions. So let's move on. I want to believe we got this. Right. So to typography now, right? And um typography style guide. So how can you create typography style guide? So just like how we created this our color style guide. There are many ways to create these things as well, right? And which I'm going to show you now, right? And so for the typography, so let's, the simplest way, so I'm not sure I have these plugins. So you can come here to your plugins, just type scale, type scale. Right, since I don't have this, I'm going to come here. Right, click on type scale here. Click on run. Right. So can click on generate. Right. Click on generate. Right. Awesome. So now we have the type scale, we have the, so what we can do now, we can now rename these guys, right? And so I think we have the H1, H2, H4, H4. So what you can now do now is click Control R on your keyboard, right? And to rename these guys, right, to H, right? Right, then add dollar. Oh, man. Right. Oops. Right. So so you have your H1, H2, right? And so what you can do again is to this is what you can do again. You click on this guy, these, and click on Control D, duplicate. So those one you duplicate, just duplicate it now. You can just now make them as bold, right? So, but if you don't want to do that, so that's another. And just make this guy, for example, now make these ones as bold, right? Make these as bold. So got to right, and you can make these as bold as well, right? Let's just leave it as this for now, right? So we have our H1, H2, H3, H4, and both lights and bold, right? So have for the H1 and for the H2 and H3 and 4, right? So what you can do, so let me show you. I'm not going to use plugins to do this, even though I can use plugins, right? This is what you can do, and you create a style guide the way we did for what's it called, for the color, right? Come here. Once you click on it, click on the text here and click on typography here, right? Just click on plate style, right? You can name this one H1. There's a plugin that is going to do this, but I'm not going to show you. I can do this thing automatically the way we did for the color, right? Just put like header if you want, right? Same thing for all those things. So you do the same thing, right? The way we did for color. So now, let's say I'm typing in. Let me just type something here like button, right? So once we know, I don't need to, this one don't show already. First, so already did that. Okay, I can now come here and make it as button, but let me unlink it, right? I'm going to change it because that's the default stuff. I'm going to change it to, right? Change it to my own own preference, right? So now let's say I want to use the style guide here of the typography that is here. So you can just come here and you will see your text style already here. Anyone you want to use, click on it, each one, boom, automatically you see it. Then you can decide to unlink it as well. Come here to unlink it to change. Excuse me. And you can go back to it that and apply your style guide, right, to anyone. So, excuse me. So that's a lead for style guide, but the basic way of creating a style guide, right? So, um, spent so much time on there, which has been great. Is there any? Oh, we still have people on this call. We have that's great. We have Austin, okay, Chuku, and okay. So these guys here on this call, especially, I think I'm going there something. If you can stay till now, I think I'm going to, yeah, till this time. I'm going to, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to screenshot these guys that are on this call now, and I have a gift for them. Yeah, I have a gift for them, right? And so, all right, guys, do you have any question? Before we call it a night, oops, no, capture this one. Any question, please unmute your mic. Before we call it tonight. Johan, Samuel, Izele, Austin, Adejoke, okay, Chuku, Kelvin, okay, Clara, Oluwaseyi, Martins Joy. Oh, thank you, John. Martins Joy, no question, no questions. Okay. And okay, so no questions. So no questions. So I think if there's no questions, this should be the end of the class. So the UI UX, the UI challenge, not UI UX, for 20 days is going to start now. It's starting tomorrow. The UI challenge is starting tomorrow. I want everyone to participate. Please do something. I will check, I will comment, you will correct it again. That is the way this thing works, all right? And I will encourage you guys to, I know some of you here, most of you here work, but at least create that time, right? Each day, at least create one UI. Go to Dribble, right? To create screenshot, copy the image of the images, start from small, maybe log in as we started today and start creating them. Model audio design, right? So yeah, by the end of day 20, I'm very sure the way you design, you still design will never remain the same. Then I'm going to send some websites, right, where you guys can get inspiration. In fact, this is what I do when I started. I look at 20 design this thing every morning. No, not 20, it's not up to 20. At least three websites. For design, I have the one for motions, for that will give me inspiration. I might not you I might not need them now, all those things. By the time I'm working on a project, all those things will just be coming back. Oh, those ideas. You know, I'm going to send you different links tonight or tomorrow. Right? The admin is going to post it on the Google Class, right? And some other things. Yes. And people here now, on this call now, yeah, I'm going to you get some, yeah, things, special things. You can stay to the end of this call, right? So, all right, guys, enjoy the rest of your evening and um, see you on the other side. All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. Good night, sir.
Yeah. You too, guys.